Commercial District. We will also conduct a public hearing on resolution number 23-03-1081, amending the zoning resolution of Anderson County, Tennessee to include rezoning of the property at 808 Sulphur Springs Road, Clinton, parcel 071.02, tax map 073 from R1 Suburban Residential District to A2 Rural Residential District. Is anyone here in the audience tonight wish to speak for or against any of those two zoning resolutions? Okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. Hang on just a sec. Anybody else other than this nice lady? Okay. If you would, man, come to the podium, please. State your name and address, and we will give you approximately 3 minutes. I'll let you know when the 3 minutes is up. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Melinda Wood. I live at 105 Whippet Lane in Clinton. And I'm here as the administrator for the estate of Zachary Wood, 1998 Lake City Highway. And that's the property that's just behind 1994. There's a house there, 3 bedrooms, and it's occupied by my granddaughter, her brother, and her mother. And so they rent from the estate. And I don't have any problems in rezoning this piece of property. I have questions. It's on a shared driveway that's adjacent to the county's convenience garbage center, the dump there. And we have a lot of traffic that crosses the top of that to break down the shoulder of the road and cause a lot of potholes and things in the gravel driveway. And I want to know if that's going to be the main point of egress or entrance and exit for this car lot. That's what I'm assuming. So I don't know, because I don't live there. I haven't asked.
Danny, is there an answer to that you can give?
Are here to speak for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, ma'am?
Yes.
We'll try to get
Yep,
all of them
I'll just
answered
keep
each
going.
time. Okay.
Also, if that's the case, then they want to use this and it's a shared driveway, is it possible for the county to pave that driveway like they did Hundley Dabney Lane just down the road? That's basically a road that comes off of Lake City Highway and goes back to a few residential houses. The 2 residences there at 1994, at 1998, I'm not sure what Eddie's address is, the neighbor. We've shared the responsibility of that driveway ever since my son bought that house 10 years ago, 8 years ago, okay? Another thing I want to ask about is if they're going to have a car lot there and I've got 2 small grandchildren that live behind, is it possible to have a privacy fence at the back of that lot? Does that lot, has it been surveyed? Does it go to the creek bank or does it go to the edge of the wetlands? Who's responsible for cleaning that creek bank and those wetlands areas? Because at this point, if on the map that I got, it looks like that all belongs with that piece of property, 1994. But up to this point, for 8 years, my son and his family and whoever that we've hired has taken care of that creek area. And it floods a lot because that creek, which is called Doe Creek on the county maps, is not very well cared for upstream or downstream, either way. We've gotten rid of beavers or something that have dammed it up in certain areas, and then there's a lot of trash that flows through. Now, some of the trash could be coming from that convenience center that's just up the bank from it. I don't know that to be a fact. But my son, when he passed away,
Okay.
am I done?
Yes, ma'am. We'll go ahead and call them up to try to give some of the answers. If we need to, we can readdress. Gentlemen, if y'all would please approach the podium, state your name and address, please.
Charles Shelton, owner of 1994 Lake City Highway. What was the first question she had concerns of?
The shared driveway, the road conditions, who's gonna maintain?
Yes, sir. They mainly would be coming right at the top of it, and it kind of goes off to the left of ours, and they would be turning around in our yard and going right back out. But I have no problem helping gravel and keep maintain of everything, from the shared of it. I have no problem with that at all. And what was the second one?
I believe it kind of coincides there
Yeah.
with the county,
Oh, okay,
Either
yeah, I don't
paving
know
it or-
about the paving part, I wouldn't be able to answer that part, but I would help maintain the gravel of it and, make sure my part, it was good on my part of it.
okay? And I think one of her questions was, are you putting in a car lot?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I
And will you be putting up a privacy fence?
am. Yes, I am.
Will you be the one responsible for cleaning property up to the
Yes.
creek bank?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know of any flooding concerns on that piece of property? And if so, would you be
I
taking
have
action to
seen
prevent
a
it?
little bit, and we're gonna have what would it called that the contractor is gonna put in? They're gonna dig like a drainage ditch
Okay.
to where it kinda culvert that kinda goes back into where the creek area is, and that's where it floods up in the middle. But, yeah, we're gonna maintain the cleanliness of it and all that. We just took ownership of it about 3 months ago, so.
Okay. Commissioner Foster?
And this is for Chris. Mr. Phillips. On their site plan, will they have to submit on ingress, egress, and also what about retention pond? Because obviously that's changing, they're putting a car lot, I'm guessing will it be gravel car lot?
Yeah.
That's all part of the site plan, not in the rezoning, but is that stuff required for this lot too, on a car lot?
Well, I mean, it depends on how invasive that gets on the property. I mean, they don't have to have any kind of stormwater plan unless they disturb more than an acre. And we haven't got to the point where we've talked about the specifics, of the site plan. So I don't know all the details of that. From my understanding, there's also a mobile home on this property.
There is.
They're going to use that for an office, and this is going to be a very small car lot because the situation with it being a shared driveway is a very kind of unique one in this sense for what they're endeavoring to do. But I had Lisa to check today, and the two property owners that shared this driveway had received their certified letters somewhere around a month ago. And of course, there's been a sign there for almost a month, but we've gotten no response from anybody to ask any questions. So this is the first questions that we're getting on it. So I don't know if that helps you or not.
Thank you.
But depending on what kind of site plan would need to be generated, yes, all of that stuff would be on there.
I just, talking about flooding.
Sure.
At the creek, so that's why I'm concerned there if they had to have a retention pond or put a drainage issue in.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny. Any further questions from commission? Y'all have any other comments you'd like to
No,
make?
no, not at all.
All right. Ma'am, did you get your questions answered?
I have a couple more, just.
Okay.
In regards to the letter, which I do have, it doesn't say if you have questions about this, please give us a call or come by and see. So that might be something you want to add to these letters in the future. Not that I have any objection to what they're trying to do. I'm fine with that. This piece of property, in that it's behind the convenience center for the dump, it does attract quite a lot of vermin, rodents. What's the plan, especially with that old trailer? I'm sure you know the history of it. What's the plan for the pest control? Because I pay a pest control company quarterly to maintain the house that's back there, to get rid of rats and mice. And I know it's in the country, so I know it's going to happen. I have it in my house too. And is there anything that we can do with zoning or with the county to clean up that creek, Doe Creek? And to make it more livable,
I might be
guess,
able
so
to
it
answer
doesn't
that.
flood?
Danny can correct me if I'm wrong, but anytime you get into a waterway, you have to go through a mountain of permits with the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. I've had to deal with that before, so we would probably have to go through another department for that.
When my son lived there, he died of bacterial meningitis. He had cleaned out that creek a few times because it was the property line, he thought. So I'm trying to ascertain if it's completely their responsibility or mine, because I haven't seen a survey.
Danny, am I right on that? It wouldn't be actually inside the creek, would it? Or do you know?
The property line.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've not seen a survey. There's no way to answer that without it.
So maybe there needs to be a survey at some point?
Gentlemen, another question was about the vermin, rodent protection.
So it's because he died of strep C and bacterial meningitis, it's entirely possible that there's some septic tank failure up creek that may have caused that to come into the creek area, and that's how he got sick. And who knows? But, I mean, I have 2 grandchildren that live there. I would like to see them maintain some modicum of privacy with the privacy fence, thank you very much. And also, that driveway needs to be paved and turned into a county road, in my opinion. And then the other thing was about the creek, thank you very much. That's all I had to say.
Commissioner Mays.
Thank you.
Danny, how common is it for a residence and a commercial piece of property or a business to share a driveway?
I'm not gonna say it's very common at all.
How big of a driveway are we talking about?
What's that? That's the width of the gravel? Or
How
It's-
long from the road, I guess? I guess there's a split. How long from when they turn off Lake City Highway, is there a split to their property and?
Yeah, it's a long ways for the split. I don't know, a couple hundred yards, or is it that far? Or? And then it splits off to of course, the car lot has road frontage right on the highway. So as soon as you pull into the driveway, you're right there where the small car lot would be. To get to these back 2 parcels, you have to go, I don't know if it's 100, 150 yards, something like that on up the driveway. And then it splits again. You got a parcel here and a parcel here. So, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions from commission? Any further comments from the audience? On any of the 2 pieces of property? Hearing none, public hearing will close, and we will begin our 6:30 agenda at 6:30. For the first time in a long time.